Okay, just needs to find that I'm live, and then I can get the link. All right, welcome. Welcome everybody. Is it working? Should be working, right? Yeah, okay, it's working now. So, we're going to be working on some high tech, and this is going to be the same project that we worked on last time. I have worked a little bit on it. I added some vocals and made some minor changes here and there, but I obviously want to do a lot more on it because it's nowhere near a finished track. So I'm just going to actually play it from the start. I do have an intro for it, but it's a little bit weak. I need to work on that as well. So yeah, I'll play it, and in the meantime I'll get myself a drink, and then we'll get into working on it. Hello Raja, hello Klaus. Welcome. Need to integrate that first atmosphere a lot more with the drop itself. Hello Brahman. I'm doing very well today. I got the new camera. I'll show you guys later. The new camera. It's still not completely set up because I need some adapters and stuff to still come. Like so that it can run without having to need a battery, and I'm not limited to like battery power. But I can turn it on later for a little bit. If I run it now, it's going to run out of battery before the stream ends. So I cannot use it as my camera now for the stream, but I can quickly turn it on. Warning. I made this little thing here. I found some kind of like comedic Italian vocals that I'm going to spread throughout the track.
Power generation.
My first Italian track, yeah. It's the first track with like Italian vocals in it. Hello Malogify. It's kind of like a meme track, I would say. Right, it's not a serious projector production. I still want to finish it and bring it out, but it's going to go on the second channel, the experimenter page that I recently set up. For those that don't know, let me find it first. I recently started a secondary page where I'm going to be posting all of the stuff that I'm doing during the challenges. So anytime that I'm doing a challenge and I make a full track and I finish the full track, then I'm posting it here. So this is just soundcloud.com/alsoprojector. Hello Guido, welcome. And this track, the one that I'm working on currently, this would then also go on the experimenter SoundCloud page. I'm also going to make a YouTube channel for that in the future, and maybe even a Bandcamp. I'm probably not going to bring these out onto a service like Spotify or any other streaming services, because that's just too much work for this music here. This is kind of like a secondary channel, all of the experimentation that I do that isn't really for like the main stuff, the main projector stuff, right? Anything that's a little bit like off-brand goes on that channel. Let's see, can we use some of these still? Hello Adia, welcome. Are these sounds from your tones pack? There's a lot of sounds that come from the tone pack. Obviously the tone pack is just like the starting point, so there's a lot more sound design involved with it. But there's a lot of ones that just use the tone pack as a starting point. This is one of my wavetable ones. So the wavetables are newer. Those are, you can actually like morph between. The tones are just static. Right, so if you have a tone, the wavetable position itself doesn't do anything. It's just the fact that you can really quickly open up a whole bunch of different files and just get a starting point from it. And you can see this synth is literally just the tone, no effects, and then a few extra effects here, a stereo spreader and a reverb, and that's the whole sound. That's what gets you this. Right? So that's how the tone pack works, and yeah, there's a lot of them that actually come from the tone pack. But there's also some that include a lot more sound design. This one is a squelch. Where is the telephone one? I think it might be this, right? Yeah, this is like a telephone sound. Or is this the... No. This one, yeah. This uses some other sound design techniques. I just want to finish this part of the drop here with the sounds that we have in here. So I'm just going to like copy over segments and build it apart from that. This is kind of like a layer here. I guess we're going to change up all of the automations later. Here we can start with the fill, because this needs to be a long fill. We'll start with like a kick fill here, and then we'll get into more of a synth fill with the kicks in this part. So this is going to remain empty. Oh, this needs to line up here. like this. Okay. Which one is the one that's so long? This here, yeah. You should probably make a little bit more space after these things. So here and here as well. Is high-tech my main genre? No, this is a passion project. So normally I make other high-tech, or not other high-tech, other psytrance, which is more like progressive. Think like Asterix, Outsiders, those kind of artists. So this is not really what I normally do. It's just something that I'm doing now for fun. Why is this still? Ah, okay, wait. We can use this to our advantage actually by using the frequency shifter. Thoughts on guitar and Psy? I've played it for 2.5 years and I'm wondering how to implement guitars to my tracks. Well, they can work really well. You can just use them as a main instrument, right? So take, for example, an artist like Bliss, who also uses guitar in his track. You can use that as inspiration. And then you can see how he uses his guitar. Sometimes he'll use a distorted one and like filter it as like a main lead, also almost like an acid line. And other times it will be like in the breaks to give a little bit of rhythm to the breaks. There's a lot of things that you can actually do with any real-world instrument inside psytrance. The only thing being is that you tend to become a little bit more progressive and commercial doing it. But if that's something that you're into, then it can work. And even something like Infected Mushroom, which have managed to include guitars even without getting very commercial, right? Because I mean, they're technically not like the normal commercial or like progressive psytrance. Although, to be honest, I would argue that Infected Mushrooms should have a subgenre like of their own. Because what they do is like really unique. Bliss would get upset just for asking him that. Let's add some fast crashes here and a few Risers. I think I'm going to go for the shorter ones, like this. Hello, Mr. PSK and Dash. How are you guys doing today? Here we're going to go back into normal kick and bass without any melody. But we are going to keep the drums. I should also do a little bit more with the percussions in here. Make that a little bit more interesting. Maybe do like 32 things like this. Few more percussion styles and then we're good. Not really what I'm looking for. Sounds, drum hits, percussions. Was a little bit like too big. I think either I want something a little bit higher pitched. Drums, percussions, high. This we just tune up one. These aren't really like the traditional psychedelic percussions that you'll hear. This does not have percussions. One shots, percussions. Don't know what that is. Ultimate Sight and Sounds. There's percussions in here. Let's just first see if we can make like a loop with the 6 that we have now. I had them before in there, but I don't really like how it's going right now. We just put them here. Put it in the break just before the drop. Right here. Here.
Power generation. Power generation.
Something like this, right?
Power generation.
Kind of fits well with the melody that we've going on here, I feel. I think I want it like this. Looking for, yeah, something like this. Not really what I'm looking for with this snare here. I guess some more higher sizzling percussions here at the end of the bar. This is cool. This one can also work. That's a little bit strange. And obviously here we'll have a little bit of difference in there. I want to find another set of percussions if I can. Hello Salvicat. Does this have percussions? Drum one shots, percussion shots, nice. I got a whole bunch of new packs, so I don't really know. Obviously time for reverse percussion somewhere. think this should be here instead. And then we duplicate it over. This is going to be like a thing happening every once in a while. Not here. Every other bar. Hello, Sonic Flex. The challenge that I posted a while ago? Or do you mean this one? Because this is not for a challenge. We can try it, key change maybe here. I don't want to go up, I think. I think I want to go down here. Here I want to make a synth fill. Hello, Mindbee. Super chat. Nice. I didn't know that it's still available, my super chat. Because normally I have it through the PayPal. But thank you anyway. Brahman01. Are you coming with high-tech EP or something? I'm not making an EP, I'm making a single track. That's where I'll start. I don't want to commit immediately to a whole EP or a whole project. It's just like one track, right? Because an EP, that's more work. Obviously you have to write the things, but it's also just overall more. How did I do this again? I need to find that telephone lead, because that's where I want to get inspired by. Okay, yeah. This then goes to the coarse pitch, and this gives us the telephone. And turning it up more and more gives you a stronger sound. Obviously. Maybe I should go even lower. Or should I go automate this from one frequency to the other? I can do that. Frequencies of music. This baseline now is a... Maybe this will work well, maybe not. G sharp. 95.96. Alright, we can use that. If I set this lower to here, I think I can then make points, right? I think I have to do it like this. I make this bigger and then just fine tune it in here with this set like this. It's 25.9. So like right there. Do I know Crazy Astronaut? I don't know Crazy Astronaut. That would be a good inspiration for this track, maybe. Frequency Sequencer. Welcome. Sorry, I read that name and I was like, okay, but it's a new person. Welcome. Also, Wave Morpher. Even though this note is technically like out of key, I still feel like it gives it a good or cool groove if we go up here. Maybe here twice then. Now let's work with this synth here. This is a virus emulation. One of the things that I saw today on YouTube was a post by Ollie Sai, where he goes this wave, the wave 51 here, and this you set that to wave. I need to remember how it was again. The sync needs to be on. Wait, I need to start from a init patch, obviously. Here you go 48. This one you go 57. I just saw it once, so I don't exactly remember. This one needs to go down by an octave. Let's see how close we can get to the actual shape of the sound. This is wave. I don't think it's, you turn on these ones. Go oscillator balance all the way to number 2. FM mount up. I don't recall if it's all the way up, because I only remember like the final sound, that's all he played. Go to light saturation. Oh yeah, higher resonance. And this would then be for our key, yes. Here I'm going to go with more of like a standard sequence of one synth, and then we'll support it with a few extra little synths in here, but there's going to be like mainly one synth in here. For now, just to get the vibe, we can set a random modulator to it. Go random, you have full smoothness. It's not like the best LFO, I guess. Maybe now it is. I guess it's hard to have multiple projects and always have a new set for both. Yeah, if you want to do side projects, it's, I think, best if you don't spend like time actually DJing as a side project. Just like only produce when you have off time, like I'm doing here. Here we can do maybe something cool like this. No LFO tool then. Obviously we need to make this sound more interesting now, so let's do that first. Hey G-Easy, welcome to the stream. Not seen the whole process, but I love that you're doing manual patterns. Yeah, this is just so that I can get the vibe right with like all of the fills and stuff like that. Later we're going to add all of the percussions and do some fills with these drums as well. I know that there's like ways to generate it. Altar of Wisdom has a very good device, or a bunch of cool devices for like glitchy stuff like this, and it just generates them for you. Called what's it called again? Autogrid, I think. Autogrid is for like grid synths, and then he has a few other ones. An auto sequence, and they all work a little bit differently. I find randomness almost stressful sometimes. Yeah, it's what I've understand with randomness, and what we also did here with this synth, which actually turned out really cool, but took way too long. This one sound took over an hour to make. What I did is I created a bunch of random sequences, all with their own unique glitching effect, and then we put them all together by manually selecting the best sounds for each one of them. So that's how I created it. It ended up really cool, and I like the way that it sounded, but it took me an hour to make, so I wouldn't say that it was worth it, especially if something like this is a lot faster. I mean, you still need to draw in the exact sounds that you want to have, and later we need to go into the automations and make the automations do exactly what we want it to do. But it's quicker than generating it randomly and then choosing all of the things that you actually want it to do, in my opinion. Go for it. A little bit of chorus. Yeah, it's because from like if you're good at randomization, then it's a lot easier to do. But I'm not that great at using the randomization, so for me this is faster. But for a lot of other people, it won't actually be faster. So that's why I think a lot of people still rely on randomness for their sound generation. I mean, it's still going to take me a while, don't get me wrong. Do you use BPM changes to spice up high tech? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do a BPM change in here. I'm not going to do a BPM change in here. I do want to keep it somewhat simple and don't like overproduce a track like this. I do have some cool patterns in mind for here though. This will be a longer note like this. At some point you can start to copy over different parts from one part to the next, I think. Like if you do like this, and then you... I guess for this one it doesn't have to be. This is just going to be like a full fill. And then here it's going to go back into the synth, of course. Once we get the automations, a lot of the patterns will start to make sense, hopefully. I'm just going to copy over. I can copy like this, I guess. That's something we just got. It's hard selecting it here. This bit here. There we are. Cat Queen, how are you doing? Oh, side. Nice. High-tech stream. Yes, indeed. We're almost done with writing down the pattern. As said, we're just going to scoop up different elements from different parts to combine. It's almost like randomization, but obviously all of the things we already have done before. This part here. That in the right spot. No, this needed to be here. Oh, no. You select like this, and then you paste. No, not that one. We're going to go here, and here I also have a fill in mind already. I want to do something like this. This might be crazy, but I think it will be a fun idea to go like this. Sounds nice. Okay, now we can delete this and we can write in our own filter cutoff modulation. I'll start by going down here. It's also kind of just random, but instead of using the LFO, we're using something that's reproducible. We have some stages in which it should be the same as well, actually, where it stays the same, right? For a little while. So you get those like tones like this. And this one's slightly going down. Here I also have an idea. Just the like same zap over and over again. Like this, there. And then this one is going twice as fast. So like this. And then we have another one here of this. So it's just using the same modulation over again, but this one is faster. Maybe we do want them a little bit lower. Sounds great. I do wish for more clever snare edits, rolls and rhythms. That's something that we'll still do. We have a few percussions here, right? These snares. All of those rolls. Maybe I'll also do some with the main snare as well every once in a while. Maybe without the bass, just like this. Yeah, that's better. And we'll get our crashes that need to be there. Obviously like this. Bam, bam, bam. Like this, I mean. Welcome back on your main account side. Let's try some fills here. Something like this. I like that we have this wave pattern going on. This is almost, it wasn't intended and it's kind of broken by this little effect that we have here, but there's this kind of wave up and down, which is very, very good. Let's add a light delay to it. Is this a normal size snare? I think it's like a modified one. It's a very short, very high snare. Could have a little bit more punch, maybe. Not high enough for. It's still a transition that needs some work here though. Maybe I have a different idea for a fill actually. I think like this, having it like this, and then we'll just filter it in with my new filter rack. This is currently set to which height? Like this, right? It does sound like a very nice steep-ish filter. And then obviously we have to turn off this. You get something like this. And obviously these also go 5 lower. I think I'll do it like this actually. Oh. Try to add autofilter on the snare with low cut 24. I'm just going to follow what you say step by step without questioning it. If I like it, we'll leave it. If I don't like it, we won't. Let's go 500. Mode to this. It needs to be high pass. 85 resonance. I assume we would tune this then, 550.
video vi saluto.
Power generation.
Now we need to do a lot more snare fills in here with this. I do like what this addition did to the snare. Obviously you saw I tamed it a little bit. So we'll do a little bit of snare fills in this part as well, just to make it interesting, right? This will be like a standard thing like this, and then here I'm going to take this. It's here and here. And go to -6, I guess, on both of them. This one also needs its delay removed. This has a release to it. Of course we don't want that because this is right. That's exactly what we want. Yeah, a high cut does not let high frequencies through. So a high pass passes on high frequencies and cuts low frequencies. So a high pass is a low cut, and the other way around is also the same, right? A low cut, no wait, a high cut and a low pass leaves through the lower frequencies. I personally like the pass terminology over the cut terminology. Should we tune it differently here as well? I'm going to make this low enough so that it can handle. So yeah, this would be like this, and then here snare goes to 415. Is it just me or is there still some kind of volume left here? I know what it is. It's this thing. This FM sequence is going to actually finish with like a contrasting sound from the FM itself, where it's like longer steps as well. Right, that's also contrasting sound. Then what I'll do here is I'll probably go for another 8 bars at the lower part, and then I'll go back up. And obviously with snares and everything. This is just going to follow the standard snare pattern, and then we'll make some fills for that later. And then right here we'll transition back into higher. That's like a nice amount of transition to go back up here. Wait, after a long sequence maybe they could be a fun contrasting sound, kind of like you have some transitions. Like a funny sound. Yeah. Once I, like, when I'm not online, I will be searching more like Italian meme vocals like these, right? This kind of stuff. I have some more. This one.
Warning. Warning.
All of that stuff I'll find off stream, because that's not really something that I can do on stream. With like copyright and all of the issues that you can have with that. I do want to take a quick break. Today's stream is probably going to be a little bit shorter. As I said, I did get a new camera. Before we go to break, I want to show you guys the new camera, because that's fun stuff. If I go to my... Wait, let me set it up first. I open it up. I just want to see your guys' reaction to the new camera. I already posted something on it in Discord. But if I go full cam, this is the original camera. So this is the webcam that I'm using. I now should be able to turn this on. Oh, let me go deactivate. Activate. It should show me. Wait. I got it today, so I'm still figuring things out. It's like this, right? Still not there. Deactivate, activate. There we are. This is the new camera. And if I put myself in focus, which is hard to do like this, now I'm in focus, and now you can see the quality bump, the quality difference between the two. Like if I switch here, you can see that this is just a lot more dynamic. So this is going to be the new camera for all of the videos. I cannot do streams with it right now because obviously, no, not obviously, sorry. Because I have the battery in it, so it cannot stay on for too long. One is, there's like a thing on the way, which is one of those cables that goes into the battery, so it acts like a battery, but it is actually cable powered, and then I can turn it on as long as I want. Still then, I cannot do it. I don't think I can use it for live streaming, maybe. Because it's not a good idea to have the sensor on for like hours at the time with a camera like this. So maybe for live streaming, I'll still use the normal camera. And then just for video recordings, I'll be using the more expensive one, the better looking one. I mean, when I'm in here, it doesn't really matter if it's like this or like this. Like this difference barely matters, right? When I'm small in the corner, stuff like that. But for the videos themselves, it's going to very much up my production level. Looking like this. This just looks a lot better. So I'm going to take a quick break. I will put on some music for you guys so you have something to listen to. Let me quickly turn this camera off. As I said, I'm trying to use it as less amount as possible because I want to start recording on this thing, and I currently don't have another way to keep it up. One of the accessories that still needs to arrive is the charger for the battery. So I have one charge, and either tomorrow or the day after, I'll get that wire that I can use to substitute the battery with, and then I can just start using it as normal. But for now, if I want to record on it, I need to keep this one battery that it came pre-charged with. Okay, what do I have? I have a new mix that I did. The Human Condition mix rebalanced. It's gonna be a video on... this is a cool effect actually. So this is one of my normal productions. This is a new mix for one of my normal productions. I did the mix. I did like the whole sweetening up the sound, all of the things that I like to do in terms of saturation and ear candy and all of the detail stuff. And then I found out that the track was completely out of balance. So I rebalanced it with some EQing, like on the mix bus. And I'm going to do a video on like how ear fatigue made it so that after a few hours of listening to this mix and doing all of the details, your whole track can be out of balance, like sonically, because I was like changing EQs and all of that stuff. So this is the result of the rebalance. And let me know what you think about it, like spectrum-wise, if it's good or something like that. Camera gear is crazy. Can literally get nothing with the camera. Lanyard these days. I don't know what a lanyard is. I do recall that this camera came in really sketchy because it came in a box for the Nikon D3500, but this is a D3300. Okay, so it's like a saying that... What does that mean then? You get nothing, not even a lanyard with the camera. Of course you don't get a lanyard if it's something that you just wear on your neck, then... Sorry. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to think about what you just said, and then I'll be back and I'll have it figured out, okay? Because I don't know what that means.
Welcome to the Human Condition. This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
Spiritual awakening.
This is our show where we explore every aspect of what it means to be human.
The problem was not the physical. The problem was spiritual crisis, not the spiritual crisis. It was like that.
It's a little bit slower this track than what we're working on, but I do now know what you mean, Dash. I got mine in the box, which was already like broken. I didn't do this. This sticker was broken already. This box is for a 3500, a D3500. Mine is a D3300. So it's the wrong box. It came with a strange knockoff charger that you open up, and then you can have these like two small spikes. I can show it in full cam. There's two little things at the front which you can move, and that moves those two small spikes that are there. Obviously the webcam isn't focusing. And this is what you use to charge the battery, which is obviously not a Nikon product. This is like a third-party thing because it's like white and it doesn't fit the camera, and it's poorly built. It's like doesn't close well. It's all strange. And then I got a sun hood thing and a lens cap. That's all I got with the camera. So that's a little bit strange. Is the new webcam? No, it's like an actual camera. I showed it before the break. I'll turn off the music. We'll get back into producing here. What I want to do is make a few one-shots for this part. A few extra synths that like layer on top of it. Maybe this does need a little bit of extra stereo width. That means that we can place stuff a little bit more in the center. I want to make like a squelch here. Nice strong one. It would be cool to do a little bit of stereo stuff on here. These. Makes it fit in. Do we have some new people in here in the chat yet? Yes, Matt and Sophist. Matt and Sophist, welcome. I have an ID here. We can use one of my wavetables. It's still on the full screen. Sorry. I quickly just made a squelch and I did some other stuff, but not so much. Here we can use one of my comb filter waves. Obviously that's too high. I should do this with a macro. Maybe I'll go with a phaser one instead. It's a little bit more drastic. Here I'm thinking that we should layer this up with a bandpass plug that is then going to go into the next section. So just something like simple, low pass 24 I guess. Nice bit of resonance. Go note on random 1, turn on the phaser. This is like a traditional classical way of doing it. Note on random 2. We can keep a little bit of that feedback and then go like this. And then knock them down both a little bit. And now if you make a sequence, we can make this a bit shorter, so you go like halfway, so that the note is half the length of the note length itself, and you give it a bit of release, and then you get something like this. Oop. It should be higher. And then if you remove all of the low end, is this the way to do it? Maybe you should just do a bandpass then. I don't want those lower. That's it. That's what I like. You can layer this up with a nice sound. That one single big note there. This is really what makes your parts stand out is those little extra details that you add to the track, right? Here we have another big step that we can apply a different sound to. It's going to be the same technique over and over again actually. It's just select a wavetable, one of my many wavetables from the pack, and you just create your note and just apply that modulation across. This is a nice space for a little bit of higher elements. You have the space there. Typicus, how are you doing? Oink oink air. That's this part here, right? This, the way that you pronounce it. Oink oink, der. Not really. Let's go with a resonance one. Really nice section here. This doesn't really have the grittiness and high frequency though that I want from this, so I'm going to go with an FM morph. And for this we're going to note on random and we'll leave it a little bit away from me. Again, we want this to be stereo. Good man yourself. I'm doing very well. As I said before, right before you came, well actually 40 minutes ago, I've got a new camera that I've been playing around with. Came in the mail today, so that's what I've been doing this whole morning. I just showed it, so if you want to go back in the stream and see it, there's also a version of it on Discord, like a little teaser thing right here. Why was that like lit up? I don't know. Either way, there's like a little teaser from before and after. Here's the before and after between the old camera and old voice processing, and the new camera and the new voice processing. Hopefully this is a little bit better and it will make my videos look and feel a little bit more pleasant to watch. Obviously it's a lot better and it looks a lot nicer, especially in full screen. You can really see the pixels in full screen. I'm still testing it though, so if you want to give me feedback or something like that, you can place it in here. I added a few questions to which I would like answers. So if you want to help me out with that, I'll create new tests and edit them and add like color correction and stuff like that to make it as good as it can be. I've noticed that it's a lot of detail work to make high-tech work, actually. All of the stuff that I'm doing here is all like very small things that you barely hear, right? What model Nikon is it? It's a D3300. It was actually quite cheap. It's less than 400 euros. With the lens, obviously. And the lens is just like a standard lens. Here we should go back to the higher thing. This should probably be a part where we go back into the atmospheric stuff. Because it's been a while from here. Give a little bit of energy back and then we'll go into like the third segment. This is where I leave the space for vocals. Let's do it like this. I'm going to group these two together, and then I'll throw all of the processing that I want to share on here. And then I think for... I can just do this. I moved that, didn't I? Yes. So. And then we can do basic parts here. 0, this goes to -12. And then we can make our basic riser. I'll get this high passed here. Obviously we just want one value. The easiest way to do it, right? This one goes here. And then there's like one spot that I need to remove. I don't need there on the kick. Would it be cool to, let's have this crash in here, because this is almost like a top loop part of the crash, and I can group this all together, and we can apply some EQing to here as well. We'll go up 3 and then up to 7 here. And then here obviously this goes to back to 550, which is the frequency that we set before for this one, right? Yes. I like that in terms of transitioning. I actually messed this up, a lot of these, because these are still in the old key. That's why it's sounding off. That little bit of extra swing in there with the one note difference makes it so that it's not so stagnant. What I often have when I'm listening to a kick and bass on its own for like a long time, so like 8 bars or more like that, when there's nothing else going on, is that the bass in my mind starts to take over as the main element. And that's because this bass, it starts with a note at the high velocity, right? So that's the kind of the standard high-tech way of doing it, is just to have 3 notes at the same high velocity. Like we can see here. This. You have your kick and then you have your 3 bass notes. It starts to sound like the bass is more important than the kick. Maybe it's because the bass is a bit loud still. It doesn't sound like it to me. Like obviously like this, the kick is going to come up more. Once I do mixing, I'll see which one of the two I like best. Need to go through the trope of vocals that I have now to see if there's something that fits.
Contact. Warning.
Ma pensa a te che stronzo.
Whack me up!
Bravo Generation. Già qua sei migliorato.
That works.
Già qua sei migliorato. 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 Tu. Già qua sei migliorato. 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 Già qua sei migliorato.
Doesn't really fit now, does it?
Già qua sei migliorato. 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 Già qua sei 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 migliorato.
Let's see if I can fit that all in just the 2 bits there. If I morph this... Oh. This obviously needs to stay in position, and then we morph this forward here. Here. There.
Già quasi migliora.
I'm thinking I'm reading the audio file wrong.
Già quasi migliorato. Già quasi migliorato. Già quasi migliorato. Già quasi migliorato. Già quasi migliorato.
Yeah, this is an Italian voice. All of the sounds in this, all of the vocals are going to be like Italian meme sounds. Already almost better. It says, here you've improved. That's what is like the translation for it.
Già quasi migliorato.
Here you've already improved. Which is ironic because I like this segment of the track more than I like the segment that came before it. So that's a fun conclusion there.
Già quasi migliorato.
No, already almost better is wrong because that's not yet happened. The sentence già quasi migliorato means that it has already happened. Did I make all of this on the stream? I made most of it on the stream, the last stream that I did. Not everything. Like some smaller details and obviously all of the vocal finding. I can't do vocal finding on stream because one, I don't want to share the vocal process. That's like a little bit of a secret of mine. And two, I'm afraid of copyright strikes if I just start looking up random things on YouTube. I might end up getting a strike or something like that. And that's obviously not something that you want.
Già quasi migliorato.
Extremes, challenging but fun intensities. I do enjoy this genre. It's challenging in terms of that the sound design is completely different and also the processing. That's one of the big things that I wasn't expecting, is that there's so big of a difference in the way that you apply delay and reverb to sounds. Like it's much less, and that's something that I had to learn with the last track that I did, one that I did for one of those challenges. It's a lot harder to fill up the space if you have all of those delays in there with all of these unique sounds. You can see how many sounds there are in like one section, right? And they're constantly switching back and forth. So you want to make it as clear as possible for the listener. And in terms of delay, there's only really a few sounds that really have like an actual big delay on them. Most of them are just dry. No delay, no reverb. Which is not something that you would often find in other sidetrance styles and projects. Yes, that's something that we can play with in here, in this segment, right after this part. Because here it switches back and I want to get some more atmospheres in here. This would be like the small atmospheric part, right? We can try to do some cool stuff with that actually. Let's go with one of these synths. Because I really enjoyed the way that it worked the last time. Might not be the best for atmospheres. I messed something up. This was the one that we were working on, right? Ah, okay, this is obviously not the initialized presets. That's why. I just want to set up FM amount, and then this is wave, which is this one here. And then you go envelope down. Now we should have a tone from it. Ah, that's why. I want to just hear this one. I'll get some stronger saturation. That's a bit too strong. The hard clip maybe. There's probably some cool sound design that we can do here. I actually want to make this longer. We'll add some of the spectral effects later, but this is going to give us more interest, hopefully. Here I want another few plugs. This time we'll go the other way, so like down. Obviously, for this to work as an atmosphere, we need to change it up a lot. I think a little bit of a nice riser here will also help. Just bring a little bit of fullness in here. I'm going to save this chat after the stream, and then I'm going to go through all of the tracks that you guys are mentioning and all of the techniques that you guys are mentioning, because I do need a little bit of inspiration for a track like this. Here I have another cool idea. This technique that I'll show you now is a sound design technique that I often use. What you want to do is, oh, wrong one. Go in here, remove everything after the third, like this. So you end up with like 3 spikes. And then you go on your note. Can be nice and high. Something like that. And then with the pitch bend, you draw like this. And you get kind of like a Doppler effect. Maybe that's a bit too high. We go down like 1 and then high detune like this. Get another atmosphere in here, kind of like a saw atmosphere, I guess. I do like the warmth of this part that there is in there. We can go for a nice long delay tail on this thing. Or should I make it actually like this? And then both double as long. Like 96, and this goes right there. Hello Cristiano, how are you doing? Nice BPM I have here. Thank you. 175. Decided to make some high tech the other day, and it's going really well. This is a continuation of the last stream, actually. Let's just get this part here. Let me just quickly save the live set before something interesting or unexpected happens. I had it crash on me the last time that I opened it up, so that's why I'm doing it now. That can be off. This can be off. We don't need that. It's also going to have issues. And this obviously is going to come with more bass melody and more synths and stuff like that. We're going to go back into the crazy stuff. Not with the same synths, maybe some of these. Stuff like that. I wasn't able to be there in the last one, but I'll be here today. Nice. You can advise me on some of the things that I'm doing wrong or right. What I do want to do actually today is work on the intro, because that's really boring. Right, this is not really that special. For one, it just kind of stops here. Probably have a longer feedback. And have the filter open up then. Riser is a bit too noisy in some parts of the automation. It is fairly metallic, I would say. Maybe we can go down here, like this. few more synths in this part. Here we can play around with the bell that is from the data pack. Or not the bell, the birds. This is cool stuff. Almost like a small short atmosphere, but you can make it like trippy. Just gonna go through this wavetable and let you hear what it sounds like on its own. So that's too high. Here I'm going to go note on random 1, and then instead of using the trans gate, we'll just use arpeggiator. This is nice because you can change the gate amount, which you can have go up, down, and then up again to like 95. This little bit more stereo by doing like this. Just have this come in like very slowly, I guess. Hello Cortex, what's up?
Warning.
Amici leoni, io vi saluto.
We can bring out some of the atmospheres that we made in here.
Power generation.
What key is this? This is tuned, right? Yes. Glad to see some high tech. Nice. All the YouTube side uses like projector dash, so I have gotten crazy good right now. Thank you. I mean, it's obviously we're always learning. I think I speak for every YouTuber when I say that on average, if you look at the difference between us and like hobby producers, I think we have more time to spend and more energy to spend on experimenting and coming up with new ideas. And I think that really helps with like improvement. That's one of the things that I talked about in the video that came out yesterday. When did that came out? The one for beginners, is that when you're first starting out and you're not really sure what you're doing, it's all about experimentation and finding your groove and finding your style. Actually the 10th. Yeah, that's yesterday. The video I put out yesterday, that one has the... that's what talks about how you start off as a beginner, which mindset. I'm going to do like a follow-up to that, which is going to be a whole series. First episode would be like the basics of the DAW, so I'm going to go over what most DAWs have, not even like Ableton specific. I'm trying to do that beginner series and see if I can, now that I have a better camera, also polish up my editing style. One of the things that you'll see from the next video, the one that's coming out tomorrow, and also all of the shorts that I've been making lately, is that I'm spending a little bit more time on the second pass of the edit. When you edit, the first pass is just cutting it up and making sure that everything is in the right tempo and that you cut out all of the dead space in between, right? What I often do while recording is that sometimes I say a bunch of things and then I'm like, oh, I'm not quite sure if what I just said makes any sense. I experiment a little bit, or I look around a little bit, and then I continue with the story. All of those things you have to cut out. That's the first pass. You just cut the footage up into all of the stuff that you need. And then the second pass for me is making sure that the face cam is in the right spot. And now what I've started to do is like zooming in on specific parts of the DAW. So if I say, for example, the next video is going to be about organization. So one of the things that I mentioned is these little menus up here. When I do in the video, what you'll see is that I'm actually like zooming in the screen on there now. That's something that I want to experiment with. The reason that I'm scared about it is because I am recording in 1080p. So if I zoom in, you're going to lose like pixel quality. But I think zooming in still provides an overall better quality of video because it's easier to actually see what I'm talking about. I needed these beginner videos 20 years ago. I'm sorry with the timing, it's just something, there's nothing that I can do with the timing. I've always been a channel that's been more focused towards advanced sound design and advanced principles instead of beginners. Because that's what I enjoy, right? I've been making music for 10 years now, so I'm not really a beginner anymore. I don't deal with the same problems that beginners do, so I want to make content on the things that I actually deal with. At least that has always been the mindset. But I do realize that it can be very helpful, and I've gotten a lot of questions to actually do it. So that's why I'm actually going to go through with it and actually make a video for beginners. Or video series, right? So it's going to be a series. And essentially the whole goal is that it will get you up to the point where you could buy my masterclass and understand it. I got so confused making music with. And I relearned everything in Ableton. Yeah, I don't want to make anything DAW specific, so what I'll do for the video is install like FL Studio demo. I'll explain a bunch of the things for the DAW in Reaper. I'll explain a bunch of it in Ableton, and I'll just go through it in a general way and say like, okay, this is an audio track, it holds audio information, and you're going to see that that's the same for every DAW. And then I'll show it in like a bunch of DAWs, so that for no matter what DAW you choose, you actually get to go along with the video, right? Because one of the things that alienates a lot of viewers is that they see Ableton and they're like, that's not the DAW that I'm using. So then they'll move on. So what I'm going to do with that video is I'm going to make it clear, like we're going to go through all of the possibilities and stuff like that, and it's not specific to one DAW. And I'll also talk about which one should you choose, how should you experiment, the fact that you can, for most DAWs, use a demo and stuff like that. Mostly Bitwig. Yeah, I'm thinking for the 4 main DAWs to use FL, Reaper, Ableton, and Bitwig. Because that's what most people are probably using. Am I late? You are a little bit late to the party, yes. But it's never too late. I do think that I won't be streaming for much longer. Yeah, it's been 2.5 hours that I've been here. And obviously I want to mess around with the new camera that I just got. So what I'll do for fun, one final time now, is to play through what we just have, so that you guys can listen to the whole thing. And then I'm probably going to call it quits for today. I should extend this, because that's needed elsewhere, or there as well, like that. But you're going to like this this track. GHMS or FG. It's a little bit faster, a little bit more extreme. I think you'll like it. Chai Baba is live on Twitch right now. As always, once the stream is coming to an end, I recommend you guys go in here and either post something yourself or see if I post something. Every Sunday I'll be posting Shneed TV, who is one of my students, who will do a mix. But if I'm not posting anything, you guys can also post there, and then I will just come there and hang out.
Amici leoni, io vi saluto.
I think I've said it before, but I have this channel in here for the recommended creators, so that my community can be a place where people get to discover other content creators as well. I also have the content creators up here. Any content creator that joins, or anyone who ever talks about, oh, I made this video or something like that, automatically gets this tag in here, so that they're easy to find. Bones, time stretch in a granular way would be nice touch for the intro. That would be a good idea, yes.
Amici leoni, io vi saluto.
I think it can only benefit the Psytrance community if we're all united in pushing out content to people, right? Growing together. This is now a little bit of empty space. This is where the new synths would come in, obviously. The hi-hat setup breaking in. Yeah, now the hi-hat setup is working. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay, now there's a long delay tail, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. It's a little bit of a shorter one today. I had a few longer streams the last few days, both of which came over 4 hours. As I said, I need to do, what's it called? I need to record videos for next week. I'd like to get back to you, Wave Morpher. Can you post a link to his channel? The guy that you just talked about in here? Okay, it's already there. Perfect. Nice. Thank you very much. That way I'm going to hang over there and maybe chat a little bit. Not sure if it's the best drone, but you'll make it work some. Oh, I'm sure. Yes. This is partially like temporary stuff, right? Just for me to get a feel of where I want this stuff to go. So for example, this sound, I'm not 100% keen on it. It's cool, but it's not in the right spot. And maybe some of these other ones are a little bit too extreme. All of those things, when I'm working more on the track, they will obviously be like fleshed out, right? This is still a very beginning track. And one of the things you may have noticed is that I'm very, very slow in the way that I'm producing this, because it's something that I'm new to. And this is just something that I have to learn. And once I do, I'll probably become faster in the sound design and creating it if I really wanted to. Such a good track, you can be picky with sounds. Yes, obviously I do have to make sure that all of the sounds fit, and if they don't, then I'll delete them again. And that's how I normally produce. But I found that when I'm producing, most of them just kind of stay in. Like here, I would say maybe 2 or 3 sounds that I'm really like, I don't know if I really want those. But that's something for later. Either way, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and we see each other next time, which will be on a Sunday, and then we'll do a challenge. See you guys.